Hello friends, welcome back to the another video lecture of OOP1 subject. Today we will discuss about the concurrency. Okay, so in concurrency there will be topics like multitasking, multi-threading, process, what is thread, and different methods of threads. Okay, so first of all we will start with our multi-threading. So Java provides built-in support for multi-threading program. A multi-threaded program contains two or more parts that can run concurrently. Each part is known as thread. In a program, if some parts can run concurrently, then the part will be known as thread. Each thread defines separate path of execution. Means multi-threading is specialized version of multitasking. It's important for input-output operations with external devices and network environment where transmission between client and server exists. Multitasking has two forms. First is process based and second one is thread based. Process based allows computer to run more than one program at a time, means that is multi-programming. And second one is thread based. In it a single program can run more than one task simultaneously, means that is multi-threading. Here I have written akka multi-threading, means akka means as known as multi-threading. Multi-threading requires less overhead than multitasking. In multitasking, each process has its own address space, so inner process communication becomes expensive. In multi-threading, each thread shares same address space and also can be under same process, so communication becomes less expensive. Now we will check multi-threading versus single threading. Multi-threading system uses approach to run more than one threads under control. In contrast, single threaded system uses approach is known as event loop or polling. At a time, a single thread is going to be run under control. In multi-threading, if a thread is blocked in waiting for some resources, program will not be blocked, its deadlock can be resolved. Means through two threads are working simultaneously, so if one thread is blocked at that time, second thread can work simultaneously without other interaction. If a single thread is blocked in waiting of some resource, then entire program will be blocked. Single threaded system will be blocked of that some resources is entered for a single thread. Now, what is thread? A thread is a facility to allow multiple sub-processes within a single process. Each thread has its own program counter, stack, and local variables. A thread is a nested sequence of method calls. It shares memory files and pre-processed stats. A thread is also called lightweight process. In simple, we can say a simple part of a process will be known as a thread. Now, main question is why we need the thread and what are the risk factors of thread. So, take advantage of multiprocessor system. By use of thread, we can take advantages of multiprocessor system. Simplify program logic when there are multiple independent entities. To perform asynchronous or background processing. Increases the responsiveness of GUI application. So these are the advantages or we can say need of threads. Next, risk factor or we can say disadvantages of thread are proper coordination is required between threads when we using multi-threading. Overuse of Java threads can be affect programs performance. Okay. Now, this is the main important thing, thread life cycle. This is the main important, most important question as per the GTU examination. That is the thread life cycle. In thread life cycle, these phases will be there. It will start from the new, runnable, running, terminated, and between. It can be non-runnable. In running state, it can be go from the non-runnable, or we can say blocked state, and from the block state it can be also go from the runnable. Okay, so first of all our thread will be created, so it will be the phase new. By the start method our thread will be runnable. After it will be go into running part. By the run method, by the stop method it will be terminated. Also it can be go into non-runnable state by the sleep method, or block on IO, or wait lock, or suspend or wait method. So if one thread is running, so by this method it can be go into blocked state. From the block state it can go into again runnable state by sleep done method, IO complete, lock available, resume, notify, or notify all method. So this method can be used for non-runnable to runnable, and this method will be used for running to blocked part. So this is the thread life cycle. The life cycle of the thread in Java is controlled by JVM, that is Java Virtual Machine, that we have already discussed into first video lecture. 5 states of every thread will be there. First is new, that will create an instance of thread class but before the invocation of start method. Second is runnable state. Start method takes thread in runnable state but the thread scheduler has not scheduled to run it. After it, running state will be there. It is running state in thread, scheduler has selected it. There will be a scheduler that will schedule the exact execution type of all threads. So that scheduler will decide which state will be into running state or blocked state. After it, fourth state is non-runnable state, or we can say blocked state. This is the state when the thread is still alive but it is not eligible to run, means it is blocked, not terminated. Next is terminated. A thread is a terminated or dead state when it is done its execution. Now, thread main thread. When Java program execution start, one thread begins to run. That's called main thread. It's important for two causes. It's a thread from which other child thread initiated, means from which we can call other methods, other classes. It must be the last thread to finish execution because it performs various shutdown actions. That main thread can be controlled through thread object in program. We can get its reference using method current thread, which is public static member of thread class. Thread object contains three information: its name, its property, and its group name to which it belongs. Sleep method causes a thread to be suspended for a specific milliseconds. For it, we will have two methods: static void sleep. In it, we will pass milliseconds into long. Second will be void static void sleep. In it, we will pass two parameters. One is millisecond, second one is nanosecond. This is the example of a thread class, main thread class. Here public static void main, in it we have created an object T of our thread. In it we have checked its get name, get property, and is alive state by the method get name, property, and is alive, which using our object, that is thread T. Thread creation. Thread can be created by using two mechanisms. One can be extending the java.lang.thread class, and another one is implementing the java.lang.unrunnable interface. we will discuss both the methods, and both the methods are very simple to implement. Both have this method. Both method will have this method: get name, get property, is alive, join, run, sleep, and start. Get name will obtain the thread's name, get property will obtain the thread's property, is alive will determine if thread is still alive or running or not. Join method will wait for a thread to terminate. Run method will entry point for the thread. Sleep method will be the suspend a thread for a period of time that we will discuss here. And start method is a thread by calling its run method. First of all, we will discuss how we can create a thread by extending thread class. So here you can say public class myThread extends thread. So here we have extended threads. In it our main method is there. Here our run method is there. To starting a thread, a run method is compulsory. Okay. Public static void main string argument myThread obj is equal to new myThread. So we have created an object of this class, and then we have called start method obj.start object.start. If we call start method, then it will automatically call the run method. So the run method will be called and it will print thread is running. Okay, so this is the first method by which we can create a thread, that is the extending thread class that we can see here. This is the single thread demo. Here we have our class A. In it our main method is there. Here our class 1 that will extend thread. So this is the method in which we are extending the thread. First method is there. In it we have a run method. To call run method, we will need an object of class 1. So in main we have created object of class 1 t1 is equal to new one. By that object t1 we have called start method. So if we call start method, then that will automatically call the run method of its class. So run method will be called, and in it we have put a character C. If C will be start from A and it end from the Z, and it will print complete alphabets A to Z. So we will check that it is running or not. So for it we will compile it java c space our thread name is single thread.java. It is successfully compiled. We will have to check which class name is there. So class name is A, so we will call that class java space A. So here we can say that is printed A, B, C, D up to Z. So this is the example of single thread. T1.start will call the run method, and run method will be called, and that or logic will be executed. So this is the single threaded system. Here our second method is by runnable interface. So here in this example we can say runnable implements. So instead of extend thread, we will just simply write implements runnable. Okay, here we have written class 1 extends thread. Here we have written class new thread implements runnable. Okay, all other things are as it is the our this class. So this is the implement method, and this is the extend method of creating class. Now we will discuss about the multi-threading. Means if we have more than one thread available into our program, then what will happen? So here in this program we have our first thread, that is class 1's thread, that is printing A to Z. Our class 2 has another thread that is printing 1 to 100. Okay, so both thread will work simultaneously. So here we have created object of class 1 t1, object of class 2 T2. By that, T1 dot start mean execution start of thread 1, T2 dot start means execution start of thread 2. So T1 dot start will automatically call the run method of class 1, T2 dot start will call the execution of run method of class 2. So both threads will work simultaneously. So let's check what happens. So here our thread extends demo class is there. So Java C thread extends demo.java. So it is successfully compiled and main class is class A there. So Java space A, enter. So here we can see that it is printed A1, B2, C3, D4, E5 up to. So here our both the threads are working simultaneously. Means it is printing 1, it is printing A, it is printing 2, it is printing B. So that are the meaning of multi-threading. In a single program we have two run methods. So both the run methods are running simultaneously. Okay, so if it is printing 1A, B2, C3, so we can see that is in unsynchronized manner. Means they are working simultaneously, one after one they are printing its own elements. So this is the meaning of multi-threading. Each thread can run its state simultaneously regardless other thread. Okay, so this is the multi-threading and this is the unsynchronized threading. In next video lecture we will check how we can synchronize these two threads, these more than two threads in a single program. That will be known as a synchronization in threading. Okay, so this is it for today's video lecture. If you like this video, then like, comment and subscribe. Also share it with your friends. Thank you, friends.